Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Killed in a crash. We know one person is dead after a collision in Raleigh. The scene near I-40 around midnight.
And high pressure to our north and east will keep us drier today. I'll explain how and why.
New safety measures today. New resources are launching to help parents protect kids from gun violence. The program coming to Wake County. Straight up 6 a.m. right now. We are glad you have come to us for all your news needs here on our Thursday together, part of your routine. I'm Jeff Hogan.
And I'm Renee Chu. Good morning, everyone. Look at this beautiful start as we look live over downtown Raleigh. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner tracking how our weather is shaping up. Calm day today.
It is. We have a high pressure system that tends to bring drier conditions just to our north and east, and it's pushing in some cooler and drier air. All of the rain that happens today is likely to be well to our west across parts of the Piedmont. As we take a look at Futurecast, you can watch those clouds kind of backing up to the west a little bit. We'll see a good bit of sunshine for the day today. And again, all that rain stays well to our west. Take a look at Roxborough this morning. Beautiful view here. A little bit of cloud cover, some sunshine, even a little bit of moon, a little sliver there that you may be able to pick out through the clouds. 61 is our temperature right now across the triangle. And there's a big difference in temperature from the northeast. This is where that cool air is coming from the high. It's 48 in South Hill and 52 in Rocky Mount, but 61 in Durham and Raleigh and 64 in Southern Pines. Hour by hour, it will be a mild afternoon with high temperatures in the low 80s. Now, Friday and Saturday will bring better chances for rain. I'll show you how it could affect your weekend coming up, Ken.
6:01, Elizabeth, happening now in the WRAL Traffic Center. We just have one crash to report. This is right here on I-540 on Buffalo Road in the eastbound lanes. And actually, this crash is on Buffalo Road near I-540 eastbound. But so it's not affecting traffic on I-540. We take a live look at that intersection, courtesy of our live cam network. Traffic flowing nicely in all directions. As we widen out the view, give you a look at the big picture. What you're seeing right here, we think is overnight construction that hasn't cleared just yet. Keep an eye on that and let you know if this will affect your morning commute. You're getting ready to head into the Cartoonist Center on the radio, 101.5 HD3.
New this morning, a man is dead after a crash on I-40 near Rock Quarry Road in Raleigh. The WRAL breaking news tracker captured this video of the scene just before midnight. Raleigh police say no charges are expected. The other driver was not hurt. We're working to learn what caused that crash.
The debate over water additives has been heating up nationwide. Tonight, local health officials will consider whether to continue adding fluoride to their water supply. WRAL's Eric Miller is live outside the Harnett County Health Department. And Eric, this will impact people there and could also impact parts of Wake County.
Renee at Cam, Fuquay Arena gets some of its water from Harnett County. Holly Springs gets all of its water from Harnett County. So the decision the health board is going to make tonight could have far-reaching impacts beyond just this county. Now, the Board of Health is set to meet at 6 p.m. this evening in this special called meeting. Fluoridation in Harnett County has a long history. It goes all the way back to the 1950s. But the additive, which advocates say helps improve public health and prevents cavities, particularly in older and younger people, has come under increased scrutiny, with Robert F. Kennedy Jr. now leading the Federal Department of Health and Human Services. RFK Jr. has argued that fluoride has zero actual advantage and that there are health consequences when the chemical is used at higher doses. Now, the Board of Health is expected to make a recommendation tonight. The County Board of Commissioners is expected to discuss that recommendation further during a work session next week. In Lillington, Eric Miller, WRAL News.
We have a live look for you right now. We can take you to the Vatican in Rome. The doors to St. Peter's Basilica stayed open late as thousands gathered to say their goodbyes to Pope Francis. The church was supposed to close for the night at midnight, but there were so many people in a long line wanting to pay their respects that they were still there and they kept the doors open late. Today is the second of 3 days he will lie in state, and then a funeral will be held for the Pope in St. Peter's Square Saturday morning. Finally, in accordance with his wishes, the late pontiff will have burial in Rome's Basilica of St. Mary Major.
Covering Durham. Today, Durham schools employees will be sharing their goals for the district. They will share those plans during tonight's school board meeting. One of their ideas, creating an agreement with the city and county to allow crisis care to be accessible in schools. It's called the HEART program, and it sends unarmed crisis responders out to some emergency calls. The meeting gets started at 6:30 this evening.
Today in Wake County, new resources will be available to parents to help keep kids safer from gun violence. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live at Garner Magnet High School. And Kelsey, the school district kicks off that new program this morning.
Yes, Jeff, an announcement will be happening here at Garner High School in the next few hours. Parents will be able to have access to free resources about gun safety. That way they can learn more about how to start that conversation with their children at home. About 30 community members heard from state safety leaders yesterday at Wake County Parent Safety Night. Many of those speakers were featured on our WRAL documentary last year. Unsafe, North Carolina kids dying from gun violence. 83 guns were found on North Carolina school campuses last year. In 75% of those cases, students brought those guns from home. This from the Department of Public Safety. Just this week, York Elementary School reported bullets were found in their cafeteria. Loaded guns were found at Southeast Raleigh High School and Enloe High earlier this year. The district will make that announcement this morning at 10:30. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Wake County.
Durham County Sheriff's Office reports a significant decline in overall crime. This March, the Sheriff's Office experienced a 24% decrease in its top 8 crimes. This is over a year's calculation, 43 total crimes in 2025 compared to 57 the previous year. The sheriff says stolen cars and firearms remain a challenge in the county. 11 stolen vehicles were recovered in Durham County last month, including 5 stolen from inside Durham city limits and 2 from Raleigh.
Today, FAA investigators will be in Franklin County after a plane lost power, forcing an emergency landing. This happened at the Triangle North Executive Airport yesterday. The plane hit a fence before making a hard landing in a nearby field. The county's emergency management coordinator believes technical issues are likely responsible for the crash.
The airplane was undergoing maintenance, and I think this was a test flight to see how that maintenance was going. Whether or not that contributed to this cause, I can't say.
Both the pilot and mechanic on board made it out safely.
A man accused of murder during a custody battle took the stand in his own defense. Dorian Thomas is accused of shooting his child's aunt, Emily Steinhoff, last March. During court yesterday, new video of the deadly shooting was played. Thomas says Steinhoff and her sister, Hillary Lombardi, were acting violently the night of the custody exchange. And he says he brought a gun because of previous threats and because he didn't know who was at the door.
Said her Hells Angels friends would have me and have offered to assassinate me.
Thomas claims Lombardi got hold of his gun during a scuffle and a fatal shot hit Steinhoff. The state argues against claims Lombardi instigated the attack. The trial is expected to wrap up this week.
Parents, students, and teachers at one Raleigh high school are on alert after learning a student has whooping cough. The district says the student goes to Leesville Road High School. The county health department says the student had symptoms in school between April 7th and 8th. Officials have confirmed 28 cases of whooping cough in Wake County since the beginning of the year.
Ask questions. Ask as many questions as you want to your pediatrician or primary provider about what may be some of the complications of the illness as opposed to benefits of the vaccine. And when you're sending your child to school, realize that there are a lot of infections and illnesses just kind of swimming around there and floating in respiratory droplets. So it's a good idea to have your child as protected as possible.
The school system sent out a message to families, students, and staff saying the school will take every measure to prioritize the health and safety of students.
Time is 6:08 here in the WRAL Live Center. Good morning. I'm Chris Lovingood. The markets yesterday closed about 400 points higher for the Dow. But as we look at overnight, the U.S. futures, you can see things aren't starting too well there. S&P 500 down 19 points, Dow Jones down 194, and the Nasdaq down 82. And this is happening as there's still no trade deal that's been met between the United States and America. Obviously, there's the escalating tariffs that have been put in place by the two countries. And China is even calling on the U.S. to drop all of its tariffs that it's putting in place there. So things can sort of, in some degree, get back on track there. We'll be watching to see how the market is looking during opening bell at 9:30 over on WRAL News and Fox 50.
Thanks, Chris. A lane closure you should be aware of starts in Raleigh tonight, beginning at 7 this evening. The intersection at Lewisburg and Forestville roads will look different. Left turns will not be allowed. Instead, you'll have to make a combination of right-hand turns and U-turns to get to your destination. This is part of an effort to enhance traffic flow right there and make the area safer for drivers. Work in the area could last through mid-July.
This morning, more affordable housing will be coming to Raleigh. A groundbreaking ceremony will be held at 10 a.m. for the future Parkside Apartments on Kent Road. The new development will have 144 units of housing.
12 states are suing over President Donald Trump's tariffs. The states claim the White House is illegally imposing tax hikes on Americans through those tariffs. Trump imposed tariffs by using the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. The lawsuits come as the president warned his 90-day pause on the tariffs might not last the full 90 days. He says he might reimpose some of those import taxes in 2 or 3 weeks. The pause began April 9th.
Car sales scam. A local family duped into buying a stolen car. The multi-state search for the scammers.
Changes to Waverly Place, the Cary Shopping Center, could see major redevelopment. Why some nearby residents are concerned about the addition of more housing.
And a beautiful sunrise this morning across all of the viewing area, but especially here at Carr Lake in Clarksville, Virginia, looking absolutely gorgeous. I'm talk about why today looks dry, but we still have a good chance of rain getting into the weekend coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:14, taking a live look at Durham this morning. Nice mix of sun and clouds. Today will be partly cloudy for the most part. There may be just a couple of instances of some cloud cover, especially the farther west you are. We have a wide range in our temperatures this morning, from 52 in Roxborough to 58 in Garner, 62 in Fayetteville, 61 Durham, 58 in Holly Springs. So it's pleasantly cool this morning, but a beautiful day to eat your lunch outside. We'll see mostly sunny, partly cloudy skies with temperatures in the mid 70s. Heading out to the bus this morning, not feeling too bad. Temperatures mid 50s to around 60, and this afternoon temperatures will be in the low 80s. Today stays dry. You don't have to send the kids with their raincoats or umbrellas, but we do have a better chance for rain tomorrow. I'll walk you through that coming up. Ken?
Elizabeth, happening now, we want to go ahead and isolate the Beltline because we've been hearing from many of you this morning. Ken, I'm seeing this slowdown and closure on I-440 in those eastbound lanes between Six Forks and Wakes Forest Road. And you can see right now it's just overnight construction that hasn't cleared. And we're seeing that section of the Beltline is closed right now. So be that as it may, avoid that area altogether if you can. I-540 and Buffalo Road, we got reports of a crash on Buffalo Road, not affecting any commute at all in I-540.
Ken, thank you. The Ocean County wildfire in New Jersey has now destroyed businesses and is threatening homes. The family business Liberty Door and Awning has had one of their buildings destroyed. The company's president says he found out what happened Tuesday night, but seeing the damage yesterday drove it home. All the inventory in the burned building was lost. Workers are ordering new supplies for customers. The fire has now burned more than 12,000 acres. It is 40% contained.
A Sampson County family is out $20,000 after falling victim to a stolen vehicle scam. Listen to these details. The Sampson County Sheriff shared these photos online, and he says the family drove to Georgia and bought this truck. But when they got back to North Carolina, the DMV couldn't register it. An investigation found it was stolen from Texas and then cloned by criminals, changing the VIN number, the stickers, and the keys to make it seem legitimate. Officials in Texas and Georgia are searching for the people responsible.
Now to the retrial of Karen Reed. She's the woman accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. In tearful testimony, his mother recounted how her son was discovered unresponsive in a snowbank. Michelle McConaughey is here now with what else the mother had to say. Michelle.
Renee, this was so emotional. Jurors heard a very emotional testimony from Peggy O'Keefe yesterday in a Massachusetts courtroom. She sobbed while on the witness stand, recounting what she remembered. She testified that She got a call on January 29th, 2022 from a friend of her son who was with Reed when she discovered John on the front lawn of Brian Albert, a then sergeant with the Boston Police Department. Her son's friend picked both of them up and drove them to the hospital where John was taken. Peggy described the moment she saw Karen at the hospital.
I hear Karen Reed yell, "Peg, is he dead? Is he dead, Peg? Peg, is he dead?" And she said, we went to a party. I left him there. I said, "You just left him there?"
Another witness testified about the damage she saw to Reed's SUV the morning that O'Keefe was killed. Prosecutors have said Reed dropped John off at Albert's house and began driving away, but then put her Lexus into reverse and fatally struck him. Reed's attorneys claim that this was a police cover-up case. The trial continues later today.
Michelle, thanks. A case of rabies was confirmed in Fayetteville. Officials say an injured raccoon was found on April 17th off Barnabas Circle. The state lab confirmed a positive rabies test. Animal Services encourages all pet owners to make sure their furry friends are up to date on their rabies vaccination.
Car clubs taking over public streets, committing crime after crime.
Someone can get killed, someone can get hurt.
Tonight at 6, WRAL Investigates shows you the unbelievable video taken in downtown Durham. The roadblocks police are facing as they try to hold the participants accountable.
It is 6:18 and we have a pretty start to our Thursday morning. Meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner shows us the view from our live WRAL Cam network.
Taking a look at Fayetteville, Raleigh, Apex, and Chapel Hill this morning. We're dealing with a mix of sun and clouds, and that's the way things will be through the day. Partly to mostly cloudy. Chapel Hill's courtesy of Top of the Hill Restaurant. Our next weather maker has been a stalled front. That front is going to slip all the way down into South Carolina today, opening the door to some cooler, drier air coming in from the northeast, and all the rain is going to be in western North Carolina for today. We're going to see another front that comes through and increases our chance for showers and thunderstorms Friday and mainly Saturday as it crosses our area. And then behind that front, Sunday is cooler and drier. High pressure up here to our northeast is helping to push the moisture back into western North Carolina today, but it's also cooling things off in eastern North Carolina and parts of our viewing area. Here's a look at Futurecast, and we kick this off for Friday. All this starts to lift back to the north on Friday, and so we do have a chance of some showers and thunderstorms potentially as early as lunchtime on Friday, and then that continues into the evening, but it'll be isolated. It's not going to be just a widespread downpour all day Friday. Saturday morning will have the potential for an isolated shower, and then it's likely to be later in the afternoon when the front comes through that we'll have a better chance for showers and thunderstorms, looking at about a 70 to 80% chance. Today, there is a low risk for flooding back here across the mountains and parts of the Piedmont, but we do stay dry. Now, Friday and Saturday, that's when we get back into our chance for some rain. We're not looking at any rain today, but as we get into the day Friday, those numbers start to go up, and we add Saturday to it, and all total will likely be somewhere between 1/4 of an inch and 1/2 an inch for both Friday and Saturday. Friday, a 30% chance, but an 80% chance on Saturday, mainly late afternoon and evening as the front comes through. We do have spring days in Cary on Saturday. We have a good chance of showers and thunderstorms by late in the day. Sunday activities, though, look fantastic. Kind of a yellow light on Saturday with a chance of late day storms, but beautiful Sunday, breezy and brighter. Look at that temperature of 73, but it doesn't last long. We climb up to 91 on Wednesday, Ken.
Ooh, at 6:20, Elizabeth, we got Apex first responders working a crash on New Hill Hollywood Road down there near US 1. It's a situation that we've been seeing that's causing a little bit of a slowdown right here on US 1 coming into the capital city. We have a crew on the way to check that out. We'll let you know how the extent of the damage and how much it's going to affect your morning commute. We were looking at a road closure on I-440 eastbound between Six Forks and Wake Forest Road because of nighttime construction. Clearly, that's cleared, which is good news. You don't have anything to report. And here's something that we've been looking at I-540 and Buffalo Road. This is a crash that we've been talking about this morning right there at the exit. Not affecting traffic, as you can see, but I'll keep an eye on it here in the WRAL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ken. Drinking water additives. Local health officials will consider fluoride in their water today and how this will affect people in Wake and Harnett counties.
Locking up guns. A new program will be announced today in Wake County. The effort to increase safe gun ownership.
And coming up on Today, how NASA technology is being used to fight wildfires.
And we'll give you a look at the winning North Carolina Education Lottery numbers.
It's What's Trending Report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Casting announcements for the next Hunger Games movie.
Plus, Netflix dropped a trailer for season 2 of Wednesday. Ken Smith here now on Thursday with What's Trending.
Yeah, absolutely, Jeff and Renee. Big fan of the Hunger Games franchise. We're getting a first look at who will play a young Woody Harrelson. Actor Joseph Zatter will play the main role in Sunrise on the Reaping. The Hunger Games prequel follows the story of a young Haymitch in his games.
Sold 1.5 million copies book-wise anyway. I tell you, everything it's done and everything that's coming ahead, a lot of anticipation about what's to come with this. And telling the story of Haymitch, a beast, right?
Yeah. And at least it's a new movie. It's not like a remake.
Right.
It's just, telling the story before the Hunger Games.
Big fan of that. Hey, Netflix sharing a first look of season 2 of Wednesday. The Addams Family returning to Nevermore Academy. This year, Wednesday is joined at school by a new member of the Addams Family, her little brother, Pugsley. Part 1 of the new season releases August 6th, Part 2 on September 3rd.
This became such a fan favorite when it came out 3 years ago. The first season made Jenna Ortega a star. People love this reimagining of the Addams Family. And now we'll get another installment.
With her little brother. There. Ken, thanks.
Now an update to a story we brought you during March Madness. Remember the young UNC fan who made the women's team scrunchies before they left for the Sweet 16? Some players even wore them in the game. Well, yesterday, the team posted these pictures and video on their social media with the caption, "A scrunchy queen." Glad we got to meet our new friend, Gracie.
School day forecast looking nice and quiet. It's cool this morning, mid-50s to low 60s. After school, we do climb up to 81. We'll see partly cloudy skies, but no rain today. Tomorrow, it returns. I'll show you how it could affect our weekend, too, coming up.
Meantime, prayers and tears. A live look in St. Peter's Basilica right now as thousands of mourners pay their respects to Pope Francis. The changes being made to accommodate the large crowds there.
Plus, deadly collision. The crash in Raleigh that killed one person overnight.